Guitar Ninjas, and welcome to this week's Riff of the Week. This is an intermediate one. We're going to be working on pull-offs, our strength with all of our fingers, mostly focusing on how difficult it is to get that little pinky to do a good pull-off. So as you can see, there are lots of crazy pull-offs there, a pull-off with a little finger and a nice little slide in there as well. This is quite a fast one, but we'll break it down. Also, later on in the video, you'll be able to see how we do a harmony section to this that's a lot harder, but is really good for working on this same strength with a hand stretch. Those of you that are new to the Guitar Ninja, what I'm doing at the moment is releasing a backing track at the beginning of the month, a beginner riff to do over that backing track, then an intermediate one, which is what this video is, and then an advanced one as well, and after that I'll release a video of me doing a playthrough of all of them over the backing track. Now if you're checking this out on YouTube, then please consider giving it a thumbs up, hitting subscribe. Each week that next video will come out as described. However, if you're watching this on the Guitar Ninja Academy, you are awesome, and if you're on YouTube, you should go and check that out. You can create a free account, and what will happen is all of these Riff of the Weeks will be available at the beginning of every single month. You'll also have access to some specialised designed guitar courses, with the option to upgrade to have access to more of those. You can create your own little avatar character, which is really cool, which you can upgrade and change things as you complete more videos. There's also tuners and metronomes built in, and mini games to help you find notes and work on your chords. All sorts of crazy things on there, so please go check that out. Again, you can create a free account. The only things that are behind a premium wall are the more advanced courses. So now that you know how this all works, let's have a look at this riff of the week. This pull-off riff is pretty tricky. Let's see it one more time before we jump into the how-to. So this backing track is a G major pop punk track, so we're actually focusing on the fact that we're using our third string, which is our G string. We're pulling off from the second, third and fourth note of that scale, or what we would call the second, third and fourth degree of the G minor scale, to the root, to the open G. So if I play that slower, what you'll notice is it's just pulling off from a fret to the open string. And then we've got a funky little slide between the fourth and fifth degree. But we'll cover that when we get there. Now this pattern is just repeating as the chord changes. Because we're focusing around the main scale, the key of the song, it means that we don't actually have to change what we're playing when that chord changes. The chord itself changes the feel of the sound slightly without us having to do anything different. So you'll notice for different things, different ways we play, it makes more sense for our thumb to be at a slightly different angle, our elbow to be at slightly different angles, and all sorts. Now, there are teachers out there that are very picky. The thumb should always be halfway along the neck, and the elbow should always be at an exact position and things like that, which is basically teaching you the best principles for the style that they focus on. For instance, if we were learning some chords, it's good to have your elbow at a nice relaxed point. But if we're doing bar chords and big stretches, we want the elbow to come in because it helps bring the hand round, right? Now, the thumb going along the neck like this is something I never advise on, but the thumb coming higher up can be, and that's what we're going to do today. If I keep my thumb low in this ideal position, as people call it, halfway up the neck, pointing up, I can do this exercise. But it doesn't feel as comfortable or as quick as it does when I allow my thumb to come over. So you could frown upon my thumb position, for sure. Maybe it should be lower. But I advise you have a go at it both lower and higher yourself and see where is most comfortable for you. The most important thing about the thumb and elbow position, which all of you do need to pay attention to, is making sure that you can get your first finger in the second fret and your little finger in the 5th fret. So your thumb being up here, if you can do that, it's fine. If you need your thumb down here to get that, remember the elbow in, the thumb lower gives you more stretch, then that's good. If you can, with your thumb along here, do that, then technically you're not really doing anything bad. I just wouldn't advise it. I like the thumb to always be closer to me than the index finger. So I'm going to start on the 3rd string on the 2nd fret with my 1st finger. So 1st finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string or G string. We're going to play that and do a pull off. Now, pull-offs are easier to hear the 2nd note with gain. We are working with pop punk, so you can throw on some high gain. You can get away with pretty much a metal guitar tone over pop punk. It's awesome. The hardest thing with our pull-off is to make sure that we don't catch the other strings and make them ring out. So it's all about working out how to get that pull-off right for you, where we don't really catch the other strings. So remember that with the speed we're playing here, we can cover this up a fair bit. So if you're catching the 2nd string a little bit, it's not a problem, as long as it's not overpowering. So don't worry if you hear a very small amount of it. We don't need to be that picky with some background noise at this stage, but you do want to make sure that you're not hearing. You don't want to hear it ringing out that whole time. Okay, so we've got the 2 pull off to the open 3rd string. Then we're going to do the 4th fret with our 3rd finger, 5th fret with little finger, and then back to the 4th fret with the 3rd. So we get this. That is the 1st section. Now, being intermediate, I'd hope I don't need to break that down any more than that. So the 2nd half is the same as the 1st for the start, but we don't go up as far as the little finger. So we've got the pull off of the 2nd fret, then the pull off of the 4th fret, and then we're going to play 4, slide up to 5 and back to 4, and then do a final pull off again after the slide. So we get this. So again, super slow, 2 pull off, 4 pull off, 4, slide to 5 and back to 4, and then pull off. So your 3rd finger here is going to be doing a slide up, slide down, and then pull off, all from a single pick. The 1st and 2nd half of that put together. Notice as I did that pull off, I rested my 1st finger on the 2nd string to stop it from ringing. I actually did that without thinking, but that's through years of practice. So remember to try and find those little tricks you can to mute other strings. The great thing is, a B is in the key of G major, so if we do catch that string and hear it a little bit too much, it might be a bit messy, so we want to avoid it, but it won't sound horrible. So let me play this one more time, nice and slow. So, go back and watch this again if you need any clarity. Get a bit of practice to try and build some speed up, because we're about to go through it now with the track. So there you have your intermediate riff of the week. As you can see, it's just that one exercise going through with all of the chords. That is the whole of the main section. Now, there is a harmony as well. So for those that have found that first section okay and want something even more challenging, this is a bit more advanced. We can have a go at the harmony section as well. I'm going to go over this fairly quick because it's the same principle, but with a little bit of difficulty. So the harmony I demonstrated at the beginning is literally playing the exact same rhythm, doing the exact same idea of pull-offs at the same timing. The only difference is now we're not playing it to an open string. We're going to be playing it to a fretted note. Now we're not going up by an octave, so our shape is going to be slightly different as well. So let's just jump straight into this. I'll put the tab on the screen and we'll go through it here. we've got a finger planted on the 7th fret. Now, to be able to get this stretch, your little finger has got to reach 12th fret. That's more than one finger per fret, and we're going to do some weird slides and things. So my thumb now is low down. I'm not going to allow it to come up. My elbow is in, and my thumb is behind 9th to 10th fret. So it's a fairly uncomfortable wrist angle feel if you're new to doing these sorts of stretches. I'm also not trying to make sure I'm on the fingertip of the index, because otherwise I still can't reach. So I'm on the side of this finger slightly, but I'm going to just check that I can still hear that note. Perfectly fine. Cool. So we are now, instead of doing 2, 4, 5, if this was our root, we've got 1, 3, 5, effectively. So from the 7th fret, we're going to do an 8 pull off, 10 pull off, 12 pull off, 10 pull off. Then the next section, we're going to do the 8 pull off, 10 pull off, then play 10, slide to 12, back to 10, and then do the pull off. So for this, your index finger can come off for the slide, but needs to be back down ready for the pull off. So we get this. So the first and second parts of that together. So I've aimed this mostly at the higher end of intermediate players. If you've done the first section, this second section I don't expect to be that easy for you, but I thought I'd throw it in here for those that fancied the challenge. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If you need to rewatch it, go back a little bit. Apparently J works for jumping back a bit on YouTube if you're watching it there. I didn't know that, but apparently it does. So check that out, go back a little bit, find out where you need to, and let's have a go now at using the harmony over that main riff. So there you have the intermediate riff of the week sections for this pop punk G major challenge. Now these pull-offs are pretty hard, the stretches are hard, especially in that second half. I'd advise you get comfortable with the first half and only try that second bit if you really fancy the challenge. These aren't here to deter you and make you feel uncomfortable and unable to keep up. So just to make you aware, this is more advanced than intermediate, especially this second harmony section. If you're watching this on the Guitar Ninja Academy, then below the video you can download this tab as well. You can keep the tab on screen even during the spoken parts. And remember, if you invite your friends and people along, then you can get some extra free coins and fans to get your avatar on those bigger stages with the cooler guitars. If you're watching this on YouTube, then please hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and think about checking out the Academy. It's completely free to sign up, to use these same videos, a few other courses, and all sorts of extra guitar benefits. So this video being the intermediate one, and the fact that this is out means there's already a beginner video available and the backing track available on YouTube, as well as the advanced video available on the Academy. So check out those videos and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye!